welcome back to the video. Guys, I just want to start off this video by saying thank you. Thank you all so much for all your amazing support on this channel. We have now surpassed over 10,100 subscribers going from the recording of this video. As you all know, I'm on a holiday this week, so I am pre-recording these videos. It's going to be insane to me to see what we truly at this point when I post this video. But guys, at the end of the day, I just want to say the fact that we're already 10,100 is just insane to me. Thank you all so much for all your support on this channel. And finally, as you all know, Black Clover chapter 277 is on break this week. The next official chapter of the Black Clover manga is Sunday, January 3rd, which means the spoilers will come out next week on the 30th. With that being said, this is the Yuno video. I promised you I've been doing some research, so let's dive straight into it. Jumping straight into it. As you all know, Yuno developed Spirit Dive. It was a power he developed to stand with the rest of the squad moving forward in terms of power, and Yuno being a little bit left behind. The first time he used Spirit Dive was during the Langurs fight, where he just used Spirit Assimilation, Spirit Dive, and it was honestly super OP. Once again, feeling left behind, using the powers left behind by Licht because of the wind moving in his direction, Yuno developed the power of Spirit Dive, Zephyr. Now, with Zephyr, he got a two-handed sword, which honestly, super cool, super OP, and he got a nice level boost. But on top of that, I didn't really like Zephyr because, I don't know, swords are just Asta's thing, and for Yuno to also get a sword was kind of questionable to me, but at the end of the day, I was happy with it. Yuno, we love Yuno in this channel. And then came Xenon. Well, I don't have to tell you what happened, but Yuno got absolutely brutalized. His squad got slaughtered, his captain got captured. Yuno was a pathetic mess. He was once again left behind, and with that, his resolve to grow stronger grew so much. In the 2 days they had before the attack on the Spade Kingdom, Bell was developing a new form, and this turned out to be Spirit Dive Boris. Now, instantly, some of the Greek mythologists in the chat, for some reason Black Clover fans have turned into Greek studies, realize that Zephyros and Boros are two of the 4 Anemoi wind gods. Which means, since we've already got Zephyr and we've already now just got Boris, we are most likely going to get the rest. Now, with Boris, we got a two-handed sword, with two-handed, or I guess a one-handed halberd, but more on that later. But let's go into talking about the Anemoi. Basically, in Greek mythology, the Anemoi were the gods of the 4 winds, namely Boris, the north wind, Zephyros, the west, Notice, the south, and Eurus, the east. Each of these was associated with a season. Boris was the cold breath of the winter. Getting an axe really now sizes up with Boris because axes, halberds are like this old Viking thing. So it definitely makes sense why Boris has an axe. Zephyros, the god of spring, breezes, and Notos, the god of summer, rain, and storm. The wind gods were portrayed as either man-shaped wind gods who lived together in a cabin on Mount Hymas in Dark, or horse-shaped divinities. Basically, they were wind gods who had wings, and as you all know, Yuno also has wings in Spirit Dive. But on top of that, Yuno has a crown, which is pretty interesting. So I really wonder where the crown will lead to. But anyway, moving on, Boros was the purple winged god of the north wind. One of the 4 seasonal Anemoi, he was also the god of winter who swept down from the cold mountains of Fark, once again explaining why it's a halberd-shaped axe, chilling the air with his icy breath. Beyond his mountains, home lay Hyperbia, a mythical land of eternal spring, untouched by the gods of wind. Now, one thing in this that stands out is Boris was the purple winged god of the north wind. So is Yuno's new form going to be purple? Now, I don't know. I don't know what I think about that. Obviously, I've seen everyone on Twitter draw him green. Shout out to the artist for this video. But green was Zephyrus, you know? Green was kind of Zephyrus' thing. So, maybe? I mean, maybe? And then I obviously did some Google search. Obviously, being from the wind and from the north wind and being from the winter, Boris, in many deceptions, has an axe-type halberd. Now, going on to Zephyrus. Zephyrus was the god of the west wind, one of the 4 seasonal anemoi. He was also the god of spring, the husband of Clover, and father of Carpus. In myth, Zephyrus was the rival of the god Apollon for the love of Hippolytus. One day, he spied on Pa to play games of Quillis in meadow, and in jealous rage, blew the disc, of course, with a gust of wind. So one thing you're getting off this is Zephyrus is the god of jealousy. He's a very jealous god in Greek mythology. Interestingly enough, there is no color. Like, Boris starts out saying Boris was the purple winged god. Zephyrus, there is no color relating to Zephyrus. So that's why I guess Tabata went with green. Moving on, Notus. Notus was the god of the south wind, one of the 4 directional anemoi. He was the wet, storm-bringing wind of late summer and early autumn. Notus dwelt in Anaphobia, the southernmost realm in the Geographus of myth. Now, from the pictures and the Google images I found of Notus was just the god of, like, the wet, you know, the storm bringing. So maybe Notus's spirit dive from Yuno's ability could be something to do with controlling wind in a large area, like something like Monozone, something like his spirit storm, but on a much grander scale. Maybe even using lightning, since Notus is the god of storm bringing. So it is pretty interesting. Unfortunately, from the Google images I searched, that Notus didn't have any shape or color. He also didn't have a weapon. So I'm honestly interested to see what Tabata develops with Notus. And finally, Eurus. Eurus was the god of the east wind, one of the 4 directional anemoi. He was associated with the season of autumn and dwelt near the palace of the sun god Hylas in the far east. So honestly, not much known about Eurus either. From the Google images I found, Eurus actually uses daggers, like sort of like a twin dagger, but I don't know how accurate to mythology that really is. But pretty much Eurus uses twin daggers. Honestly, Yuno has a sword. He has a halberd style axe. I think Notus might be a bow and arrow. Eurus could be a 2-handed dagger. I mean, Tabata does love dual wielding. Like, Asta learned how to dual wield very early on. Yuno so far hasn't dual wielded. Hell, even Julius, even Patry was dual wielding in the anime when he was fighting Julius. So dual wielding daggers honestly sounds super cool. It seems like Eurus would be used for speed. If you have Zephyr for control, Boris for power, and Notus for long range, you could have Eurus for speed and I guess like up close attacks maybe. I'm not entirely too sure where Tabata is going to go with this, but we can easily guess that the next 2 abilities Yuno is going to develop are Notus and Eurus. Now obviously these are most likely going to be years in advance. The last time Zephyr was revealed was around Black Clover chapter 215 or 216, which was by now over a year ago. So we can expect at least another year until Yuno develops his new forms. How he's going to develop his new forms, I have absolutely no idea, but I have a lot of theories where Black Clover is going to go in the future arcs. One theory I have is we're going to obviously explore different lands that uses magic in a different way, not just using magic for spells, maybe lands that infuse magic in their swords. So even Asta won't be able to cut him since they're physical swords. He'll just be able to erase the magic on the swords, which is pretty pointless. But so honestly, Yuno also needs to keep up with Asta. Asta achieved his new form this arc, leading Yuno to achieve his new form Boris, which honestly was absolutely super cool. I'm not entirely too sure if we're going to get Notus or Eurus, but since we've already got Zephyrus and Boris, one can only assume we'd get the other gods for the east and the south, east and south are the only ones missing, since Boris is the north and Zephyrus is the west. But anyway, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave your like, comment, and subscribe. Obviously, tell me what you think in the video. If you have any ideas what Eurus and Notice are going to be in terms of power, do be sure to tell me in the comment section. I will be reading comments just like always. I'll see you in the next video. My name is Tim, as always. Peace.